Welcome back to Keto in the Kitchen with Pat. I really enjoy that you stop by and check out this channel. Join me today as we make our garlic parmesan keto-friendly flatbread. So easy, and I think you're really gonna love it. Stay tuned. Okay, so our keto garlic parmesan flatbread does require almond flour, mozzarella cheese, 2 tablespoons of cream cheese, some baking powder, and 1 egg, and some butter and garlic, and a few other ingredients that we'll go over in a little bit. But because it has 1 egg, I always test my eggs. Because, and you should too, if you use a bad egg, you could get very sick. And so it's so simple and so easy to check your eggs that it just takes a minute, less than a minute. And that way you know your egg is good. It's not bad. So here we go. Okay, so I'm going to show you. I've got my egg here. And because I've not tested it yet, it's very simple. I just got myself a big cup and I turn on the water and pour some water into the cup. Now you don't have to fill it all the way to the top, but I get it pretty close. And what you do to test your egg, it's this simple. You drop your egg into the cup with the water, and if you can see how it is, it's laying in the bottom. See it? That means the egg is fine. If it floated to the top, which it would do right away, that would mean the egg is bad. You need to throw it away. Don't eat a bad egg. So if it lays on the bottom, you know it's good. And then I rinse it off under some hot water, just in case there's some puts on there, some egg, chicken dew. I always rinse it off just to make sure there's nothing that I don't want on that eggshell in case it does get into the mixture. So I don't have to worry about plucking it out, but that's it. Now we know this egg is good. So we're ready to go. I'll just drop it on a paper towel, wipe it off a little bit until we're ready to use it. I do that with all of my eggs. I never eat an egg without testing it first. So it's going to be pretty simple, and you'll see I've gathered all the ingredients together, and I'll tell you what they are as we go through here. But what you'll need is 1 large bowl, 1 cup mozzarella cheese shredded. Just pour that in the bowl, easy. Remember, we washed that 1 egg. That's going to be for later, so we're going to set that aside for right now. So we got the mozzarella cheese, 1/2 cup of almond flour. That goes into the bowl. We also have here on this plate 2 tablespoons of cream cheese. Now, keep in mind there's no need to soften it because it's going in the microwave oven. So you've got mozzarella cheese mixed in with the almond flour and the 2 tablespoons of the cream cheese. So that's how we start. So we're going to add 1 level teaspoon baking powder. All right, so that's all there is to that in the very beginning. Very simple. And we're going to put that in the microwave for 1 minute to begin with. If the cheese has not melted well, we're going to put it in there for about another 30 seconds each time. So 30 seconds, 30 seconds. But what you're looking for is you want the cream cheese to be melted and the mozzarella cheese to be melted. So when that happens, we're going to take it out and we're going to have to stir it vigorously, and that's when we're going to add the egg. All right, into the microwave it goes. So the cheese is melted enough, and we're going to add into that mixture 1 tablespoon of garlic powder and stir. What you want is you want that to all get mixed in with the cheese. Just stir it and stir it until it gathers it's going to gather into a ball. And this is where you need a little elbow grease, but not too much. Got that pretty much right into a ball, and we're going to crack our 1 egg in there that we've already tested to make sure that that egg is clean and that it's good. Get that well mixed into the batter. And it's going to be a little soupy in the beginning, but you'll see it does get thicker as you stir it in there. So, okay, keep mixing. My oven is set for 400 degrees. Okay, so once it gathers back into a ball again, we're just about ready to roll this out. See how it kind of gathers into a ball? Okay. So now that we've got the mixture in the bowl and it's all ready to go, we're gonna get a couple pieces of parchment paper. Now, I love this brand. If you ever saw this at your store, instead of having it on the roll, I like it in this little box because you just pull the sheets out and they lay flat. Just a little tip. But the roll, you know, you have a hard time. You got to put, you know, stuff on the edges to try to keep it down. And this way, it just comes out of the box this way and it lays nice and flat. So that helps a lot when you're going to roll out. Now, one thing I will say, this can get sticky. So I'm going to take a little bit of that butter. We don't need all of it. I just poured a drop or two on the parchment paper, and I'm just going to move that around on the parchment paper with my finger so that when we go to roll the bread out, it doesn't stick. You just take that extra butter and roll it right on your hands because that will help you have that keep from sticking to you as well. Now, what you want to do, you can use a rolling pin, or you can just flatten this out really with your fingers. Either way, I mean, it's just a personal choice. So I'm going to try putting a little butter on top. Not all of it. We want to keep the butter for the top when it gets rolled out. And then we can put this on top. And try to find your rolling pin. Who knows how long it was since you last used it? Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I don't know about you all, but I don't use a rolling pin too often, so sometimes I have to look a while for it. And we're gonna just roll that out. And the thickness is gonna be dependent on your specific taste, but I would go leave it a little bit, you know, thick so that the first time you make it, you kind of get an idea of how it can be without rolling it too thin. And then if you want crackers or chips or something like that where it's a little bit more crisp, you can roll it out more next time. But for the first time, you might want to try it where it's not too thin. It doesn't have to be a straight rectangle. In fact, I kind of like it that it's not. Now, one of the nice things is you have your pan. You don't have to grease it. So what you do is you take your pan, get it ready, and then you just take the flatbread that's between the dough that's between the sheets of parchment, and you just take that top piece off, and really it can bake right here, just like this, in the pan. You don't have to take that off of there and try to figure out how you're going to get that back in the pan. So it will bake just like this. Now, here's where the garlic and the Parmesan comes in. We're going to put on top 2 tablespoons of butter. Just pour it out. I poured that butter on the bread, and I don't know if you can see it very well, but you just take a spoon and just move it across the top. Just get some butter in every little nook and cranny. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm starting to get hungry for this already because I know what it tastes like. It's very good. All right, and for simplicity, you can cut up a garlic clove or 2 and put that on top, but I just use this jar kind, and I take a spoonful, maybe a spoon and a half, and I just put that over the top. If you like more garlic, have more garlic. If you like less, have a little less. If you don't like garlic, just have Parmesan. I just spread that out until I think that garlic is perfect. And then I just take a simple grated Parmesan cheese. So I'm just gonna sprinkle Parmesan on top. I give it a good amount. I mean, it's up to you. Any little balls like that, I just kind of crush them down with my finger. Okay, so that's ready. It's gonna go into the oven, and we're gonna bake that at 400 degrees, 12 to 15 minutes. Start there, start at 12 minutes and then check on it because it might not take that long at all. So it depends on how you like it. If you like it really well done, or if you don't like it so well done. So we'll look at that in just a moment. But into the oven, 400 degrees. So we've got our garlic Parmesan flatbread in the oven. Now, 400 degrees, about 15 minutes. Again, I would start checking about 12 minutes just to take a peek and see how it's doing. And you may want to take a spatula and just lift up the bottom, see how it is. But that's about it. Now we wait. Okay, so let's take a peek. And remember, we're just going to take a look. Now you see it's getting a little bit brown on the edges. That to me is just about perfect. I might leave that maybe 1 more or 2 more minutes. That's it. I don't like mine to be too dark, too crispy. So you could flip it over with a big spatula, or you can just leave it like that. It just depends on what you like. I'm gonna leave it a couple more minutes. I hope that you really try this delicious flatbread because it may become one of your favorites. Okay, I think we're ready to pull it out of the oven. So I'm just gonna set this on a trivet. We know that this is awfully hot, so keep your hot mitt really close by. I don't want you to get burned on my behalf. So now we're just going to take this and lift it off a little bit. And it comes right up off of the parchment, to be honest. Now, you can see the back of the bread is pretty well browned. If I wanted to, I could flip it over and leave it in there for a few more minutes, but I like mine just like this. Let's let it cool for just a little bit. I've just taken a paring knife and made scores right down the sheet to the thickness that I wanted my flatbreads. Now you may want to make them in diagonals. You may want to make them in long strips or shorter strips, whatever your desire. And because I need to have a taste right now, I'm going to take off a piece and have a little bite. That is really delicious, guys. It's got a good amount of garlic, not too much. It's not overpowering. Really delicious. And you can use these flatbreads to go with your eggs in the morning. You can have them for a snack at night. You can have them with a salad. Sometimes I cut them into small little bits and use them as croutons in a soup. They're just so versatile. Sorry, I don't mean to eat on camera. But once you have a bite, you're gonna want some more. So they are delicious. Okay. My parting words are, this is a flatbread you're going to want to sink your teeth into. Please remember to hit the notifications bell, subscribe, like, and share. They are so tasty. You're going to enjoy them as much as I do. I'm pretty sure of that. Thanks for stopping by.